Welcome, Venice or Venetia, as you prefer. It's great to have you. And we alternate sometimes between having Angelina Jordan angels and having very acute reactors who are heavily into Angelina Jordan. And especially we are delighted because you are exactly the right generation for us to get insight into how the younger generation feels about Angelina, because we mostly interview people who are much too old. But now we have the benefit of youth between Pontus and I.
Yes, welcome, Venice. So nice to have you. I watched a whole lot of your reaction videos. I think you're great.
Oh, thank you. I'm very glad. It's really fun to always see the comments and everyone's, you got better, but I can't tell if I got better or not. So it's just funny.
Are people saying you got better?
Yeah, it's like you've improved how you react. And I'm like, I didn't change anything.
No, that's funny.
No, I agree. I think you have improved because you no longer need to hold your teddy bear when you're recording.
I made that.
Oh, you physically made the teddy bear,
I made the little owl and the little dog. Yeah, I made those.
Okay. That's cool. But for the record, how old are you?
I'm 20. I'll be 21 by January, basically.
Okay, so January, you're born the same month as Angelina then?
Yeah, no, people already told me because I did tell them about my birthday on the channel. So my community knows, oh, you have the same month as Angelina and Aurora, I believe, are the two artists that are in January that I react to.
But you're not from Norway, we can tell that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm from Cyprus. I am from a little island called Cyprus, yes.
Yeah, we all know that. It's a big holiday destination, isn't it? Vacation destination.
It is. It's really funny, though. Not a lot of people knew about it before a few years. And I think after a while, like Eurovision happened or something, and we got second place. And I think that's where people actually started like physically searching up about like Cyprus and what is this place.
Yeah.
If they didn't travel before, they had no clue.
Okay.
But you're from the Greek part of Cyprus, aren't you?
Yes, Cyprus is split in half right now, and we're still trying to solve that issue, but it's been years. Okay. But yeah, I am a Greek Cypriot.
Tell us, how did you first come across Angelina Jordan?
I think it happened 2-3 years ago. I've been running my channel for 4 years. So you can imagine Angelina's been one of the first people I've ever reacted to when it comes to actual musicians and artists. And I believe it was just one of my comments because I put up either a community post or I asked in one of my videos, hey, if you guys have any suggestions, I also have always in my little description any suggestions, put them in the comment sections for further new artists. And I got one suggestion that was like, hey, you should check out Angelina Jordan, specifically blah, 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 this video. And that's where I was like, okay, sounds good. I'll start it by, I think it was Tuesday or something. And that's about it. So one of my comments just basically suggested it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And what song did they suggest you start with? Do you know?
I remember my first reaction was Bohemian Rhapsody from America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Because some of the angels are devoted to Angelina Jordan, that they put aside part of their monthly income to donate to reactors in order to make them listen to an Angelina Jordan song to get them initiated. We have angels dotted around the world who do just that. They make donations to reactors.
Yeah, I'm aware. I have one of your angels in my Patreon. It's Andy, who's been on your podcast before. And he's also planning a little surprise that I contributed to for when he goes to one of Angelina's concerts for the angels, which I'm very excited to learn how that goes. But yeah, just a little surprise. If this airs before that, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're going to be interviewing Andy for a special podcast, and we're calling it Profile of a Superfan.
Oh, nice. That sounds
because
nice.
He does so much behind the scenes that nobody knows about except him. And we want to get him out of the closet and be a little bit immodest and tell us what he's done.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Indeed, yeah, it was out of the blue, and it's really cool because he's not scared to ask anyone about anything. He throws that out there whether it's a yes or a no. So it was really out of nowhere to get like a suggestion to help with something, and I was really excited. I was like, "Oh, that sounds really cool. I'm in. I will help. It's quick for me. I can do it."
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Now, when you've experienced Angelina Jordan over the months and over the years, tell us about your evolution. Obviously, when you heard Bohemian Rhapsody, it must have had a very strong and immediate effect. And then
Oh, yeah.
what happened after that? Not just what did you hear second, but then when and how did you come to realize what you realize now?
To be fair, I feel like from the first moment that I heard Bohemian Rhapsody, the very first song, the way Angelina basically composed the song singing wise was so interesting and special. No one's even attempted to change such a prominent musical composition to such an extent. So I was like, wow, this singer must really be special to have her own attitude and her own identity and put it in a song so evidently from the very beginning. So I knew from then that was really going to be an interesting journey to take on. And I started seeing her identity plan out. I feel like from the moment we hit her release of Seventh Heaven, when that song came out, I enjoyed it so much. And I also saw afterwards just her character and everything she puts into a song for the first time.
I wanna love the person looking back at me, staring over my shoulders. 5, 7, heaven. No.
So it was interesting to see how she plans out a song, how her influences of Whitney Houston and Amy Winehouse are in there, and just how much of an incredible voice she developed even further. I didn't know she could because she was already good, so I was like, how do you do that? But okay. But yeah, it was just really interesting because she did develop and she still does. This new album also is a further development from her previous songs. I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, just take me along for the ride. I'm good. I'm ready.
Do you have any musical background yourself?
I don't play any more instruments right now. I did pick up the guitar a bit again, but I played piano for 3 years when I was really little. So I barely remember anything, sadly. And more recently, around high school, I played 3 years of electric guitar.
But I do believe you have an artistic passion with painting. Is that right?
Yes, I love drawing. I love painting. I love anything that has to do with paints, getting dirty, having the freedom to just add mediums and not care. I'm the artist that gets completely messed up just to bring out an outcome that might actually look cool. Or might
Okay.
not, but it's still just fun. It's just really enjoyable. I love playing with mediums overall. So I went from digital to traditional to adding multiple mediums into traditional, and I just play around with it. Yeah, I just enjoy it a lot. And I'm even studying animation, so you add another medium into that now.
That's going to be very interesting because shortly when we listen and watch to one of Angelina Jordan's songs which are animated, you can give us the perspective from someone who knows about animation because we are just watching it as lay people, but you must have special animated vision when you watch it, which we want to hear all about.
Yes, after I think a year of animation, we've been taught a lot of the different styles and types of animation you can have, and there's so many you can't even imagine. There's animations made with sand, drawings on glass with sand moved around to create the next
Wow.
picture slowly but surely. Like the precision behind that just amazes me,
Wow.
which is crazy.
Because I remember Mickey Mouse from 1935, and someone would have to do 12 drawings a second and just turn the page very quickly. That's how I think of animation, but then I'm the wrong generation.
Yeah, that's basically the first ever traditional animation on paper. What they did before is they would just scan the little images, the little paper drawings, and you just get a little character moving. I'm still drawing like that. We have a little jump we need to do, and it's done on paper like how they did it back then. It just helps a lot. So you don't have that control Z. You can go back easily with digital and all that. We're doing it this way when it comes to the basics, and it's very special. It stays in your head as well. You have to think more when you're doing it, so it's really a helpful method to use.
And nowadays we have the artificial intelligence also
Oh
helping
yeah.
us do animations. And I know Joey Farrell has made some animation based on Angelina's lyrics and music. and he's used the artificial intelligence approach to those animations. They're really quite lovely.
Put a spell on you because you're mine.
When we interview different angels, everyone has a different experience. Some people talk about musically how they interpret what Angelina Jordan does, and some people talk about how they have such big permanent goosebumps that they have to go to a dermatologist to try and sort it out. And so different people have different phases, and we've had even people coming on this podcast who talk in great detail about how Angelina Jordan has changed their life. And everyone has a different story. That's why we are in, is it season 3 or season 4 now, Pontus? I lose track.
No, it's season 3.
Okay. So we're just running and running with this because everyone has a story, and it's not like Angelina Jordan has 2 or 3 songs to talk about. She has 200, and it's like we're discussing the history of the Roman Empire. It just goes on and on.
Yeah, that's for sure. Everyone has a different story and a different experience. Angelina hit me hard with her song Million Miles.
Yeah.
That song brought me to tears. It's very special. It's still special for me. It's something else. It's beautiful, memorable. Also, the music video is composed in such a special and fun way where if you're an animation student like me, you just go through it and you experience something really fun. It's like you're watching a little short film. The music behind it, the art behind it, for the little release with her grandmother's drawings, animated. It's beautiful. It's something special. So that song is very special from all of them for me.
Well, Venetia, guess what we're going to do now? I'll give you one
What?
guess. We're going to listen and watch Million Miles. And please stop us at any moment for any reason, either musically or emotionally or animated wise. You can stop us for any reason. Just go like that.
Okay. I'll go like this.
Okay, let's start the official lyric video for Million Miles.
When I was a child, I walked the streets. They see me growing up. Knew you were all I need. Had seen in myself through all the years. It's like it's in my tears. I think what he's giving me, the smiles and the memories, but now he's not here to hold my hand. In the light of the blue sky, I'm not alone to fight. I've never regret what I do. We're a million miles apart. It's pulling my heart like an empty bubble to be thrown out. I can't make it stop, but I know in my heart, I know that I'm never alone. I know that I'm never alone.
I'm stopping here because this particular image with a ladder going up in space is such a cool visionary thing. The ladder image is one of the great visions that her grandma has found as a symbol. Have you seen her grandma's paintings?
Yes, I've seen a few of them and they're really beautiful. She's a very talented artist, and it's really cool that Angelina is incorporating her in so many ways because they're so close.
Yeah.
I've also seen her in the latest music video, just in the car with Angelina. That was really fun. I didn't know at the time that was her grandma because I've never seen pictures of her. And then all the comments were like, "That's her grandma. They're so close. She's in the music video." I'm like, "Oh wow, wait, what?" I could mention a few things here because
Yeah.
I was gonna start motioning stuff. Anyways, I really love how they've basically very childishly animated the drawings, because also their style is very like finger painting and very just like more abstract-ish. And it's really beautiful how the whole figure is, I'm guessing the animation they've used here is some kind of scanning in a T-pose the actual drawing, and then they've had it rigged as a 2D. You can rig it so you can move the hands and the feet just like that. So I'm guessing that's why the movement looks like this, and the feet and the little hands just go in different ways every time. And they might look a little bit awkward, but for me it seems so special and so like a child's dream, where everything's a bit more wonky and a bit more fuzzy and a bit more dreamy. So that just fits right in, and I love that. And I'm guessing everything else has been scanned. The flame is just little drawn either on paper or animated by frame on digitally, but adding an effect, something to make it like this. And it's so beautiful. It's so special. It's really fun because the first time I reacted to this, I just enjoyed the artwork, but I wasn't into animation. I didn't get into animation to see how things might have worked out. So now that I see it again, I'm like, oh wait, so they're probably using this technique to do it, and it's really cool.
Okay.
How it works and what it has.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant to have this. I don't know what you call this style, the style of a child. Do you have a special name for it in art?
Naive art.
Maybe innocent art.
Okay.
Very pure, very yeah.
Because that's the style that Angelina has been going for earlier. Now I don't know what type of style is coming, a new modern look.
She's very powerful now.
Yeah,
I feel a lot of power, a lot of independence, and with the new album too, it fits especially my generation just because it's right. I said it in the last reaction I've had. It's up my alley. You just went to university. You're experiencing living alone for the first time. You're experiencing new friendships, new relationships, everything. So every single song from there could be taken as to empower you, to help you out, to just be an assistance, to just be a reminder that you can do things even alone, and you can always remember your place home. One of the songs also is about never forgetting your home and your roots, and that you're always able to reach them again, no matter what, no matter where you are. So it's really nice. It's really beautiful. And I still see, because of the meanings of the songs, I see the innocence still in there. Even if she's going more powerful, there's still a bit of innocence because it's overall, you just want to feel safe. So that song brings you back that naivety and that childlike feeling with a bit of power and a bit of punch just to conquer the world.
Yeah. I think the contrast is one of her signature traits there. And also, she's into the idea of everything doesn't need to be perfect. She really loves doing those garage a cappella songs. And also, this type of drawing is something that I guess comes from her grandmother, that she has taken into her heart, that it's not about everything being exactly right. It's more about just conveying the emotion of things, or maybe conveying an idea.
Exactly. That's what I mentioned with the drawing itself here. It's so childlike, innocent, beautiful. It gives off exactly the message of the song. It gives the visual that you need to have when looking at it. It's like a child drew it in a way. It gives you so much freedom to just imagine also and fantasize, because you have very simple shapes and images that you can also like restructure in your head very quickly as you're watching and listening to the song. So it also gives you time to listen to the song and the lyrics and the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pontus and I have a joke between us because I call him a perfectionist and he calls me an imperfectionist. And so together we balance each other really well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good duo.
Yeah.
You from the moon, I'm everywhere, see everything you do. I can't see you, but I know you're here. It's like you're in my tears. I think what is giving me the smiles and the memories, but now it's not here to hold my hand. In the light of the blue sky, I'm not alone to fight. I've never regret what I do.
I just wanted to mention it's really beautiful how I see the imagery and everything changing color wise. We keep the same shapes and the same items and everything here, but as the song actually climaxes, we've had an addition of purple, as if we're in the galaxy now. From the sun, we've turned into purple. So I just love how they do things, and I didn't notice it, I think, the first time I reacted to this. So this being like the third, fourth that I've watched this video, maybe more. But yeah, it's really special to see just these little changes. Also, it seems like the little sun rays have turned into little either humanoids or stars or flowers that look really beautiful here. Just the imagery, I'm now just noticing that has changed in that way, and I'm guessing it's for that kind of, we've reached a new level of the song. It's giving a bit more just to convey we're going towards climax and everything. It's really beautiful. I love it. And of course, high notes are gorgeous. I missed listening to high notes like this.
It's really interesting because what strikes me watching this now about this cartoon is it's so innocent, the way the cartoon is set out and laid out, and that actually fits into the song and the message. A certain type of innocence which is captured, and it's reinforced by the cartoon, especially because of, as you say, the way the arms and legs move. It makes it almost primitive innocent.
Yeah.
And to really be honest with you, I never noticed the purple effect until you've just mentioned that. But maybe you need to go to animation school to notice something like that.
Yeah, people were asking me about, like, how do you pick little weird details up? I didn't pick that the first time I reacted to it. It's weird. It's that moment. I might notice something completely different from the second time I watch it, but it's that little detail that catches my attention at the time. It's really fun.
That's the type of artist that Mary is, Angelina's granny, because she's a painter, but she's also a poet, and she has a degree in psychology. And so I have no hesitation to suspect that she is the one who introduced the purple into the cartoon to have it on an additional level.
Yeah. And also those symbols that you can see here, if I back up a little bit, there are different symbols surrounding this. I think there might be a lot more behind those symbols than you realize.
I'm sure they looked like stars, but now they also look like the time.
An hourglass. Yeah.
So it could be the time's changing and we're growing up and people might pass away or we might lose some people. But the song reminds you that they're always going to be close to you, even if they're up at the galaxy of the sky in heaven or where they're currently. They're always going to be next to you, protecting you, following you. Yeah. And they change completely. They start off so differently, these little guys. I don't know. Every time they change, they might be something new that you should try and decode. So that's really fun.
Exactly. But it's also, the lyrics are talking about, are you in my dreams? And of course, there are a lot of symbolism in dreams. So maybe that's also connected in some way. I think you could analyze this on a very high level. But I'm not the one to do that. But I know that there are things that might seem like in Angelina's videos already from the start that it might look like it's not planned. But I think there's a thought behind. Yeah. There is a thought.
There's always a thought behind it. And it's so beautifully planned that if you don't notice it, it passes so casually by, but if you do notice it, it's so special. It's like a little Easter egg, and it's beautiful every time. I'm sure it's calculated completely by Angelina and her grandmother, especially here. Like I can imagine for sure. Like they love just having this little messages everywhere, because they were everywhere until, from what I've reacted to right now, every music video has its own little messages, has its own little secrets, whether it's just a simple picture or a certain angle or a certain, like, anything. So music, composition, song lyrics, everything has a little symbol. And it's part of artists anyway. Like, every musician, every artist just likes having these little pop-ups out of nowhere that people might suddenly decode, because that's the purpose of art. It's a bit unknown every time. So it's just really fun. A few things happened by accident. Most of them didn't, I'm sure.
Yes. I think that's like a subject for another episode, Alan, don't you think? Like Angelina's Easter eggs or something like that.
Ooh, that'd be so fun. I'm
Yeah.
guessing all the fans have found everything, all the angels. They're gonna just flood you with
Yeah,
all the
but it's
information.
Yeah, but it's also it's up to you to decide what it means for you.
That's the fun of it, yes.
Are you in my dreams? And I wonder, are your friends the stars? The songs for you wherever you are. A million miles apart is pulling my heart like an empty bubble to be thrown. I can make it stop, but I know in my heart, I know that I'm never alone.
Venezia, as wonderful and impressive as this song is, when she did this song live last year in Norway, she slowed it up. And at the end, when she said, wherever you are, she actually almost doubled the length of that. And the whole audience gave a collective gasp all at once. And we were all in shock for days just from that one song and that one performance.
I can imagine. No, her vocal power is incredible. And
Yeah.
I feel like she still hasn't shown all of it. I feel
Yeah.
like she has
Mm.
an incredible range of high notes and low notes, deep notes. She just hasn't actually created a song where she requires, let's say, to go all the way up there. Because she also likes being very humble with her notes. She wants to give the message out.
Yeah.
So she does it in a way where the high notes don't interfere and show off too much. Let's say, oh, the voice is incredible. I keep thinking about the voice and I don't think about the message. Like, you just don't forget about the lyrics that way. And it's so special how she just represents that in her voice. But I am waiting for a time where she just goes off on the high notes. Because it's going to be very special. And if I'm guessing in that performance, a bunch of people cried at the end because of that. Because
Yeah.
that song, anyways, listening to it brings me tears. Right now, I was just like enjoying it just for the fun of it. And we cut a couple times. So tears didn't arrive today, but it's just a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And it's
Pontus,
just,
could you easily find her live performance and just play the last
Yeah,
15
sure.
or 20 seconds?
Yeah, sure.
Because that would be a real treat for Venezia for the first time, because it's such a contrast from what we've just heard. And in many ways, the live performance, as unbelievable as it sounds, was even better than the studio production.
oh, I can't believe it. Live performances, if your artist is actually a talented one by voice, then you know that the live's just going to be such an experience. It's just
Yeah,
something
and she
else.
was like, she was communing with her audience, and she was singing from the point of view, oh, thank you so much for coming here. I have such a gift to give to you in the next song. And
So having that in her head, she transferred that specific energy, that specific feeling in that final note. So it
Yeah.
was, I can feel what's coming.
Okay. Brace yourself.
I'm ready.
I know that I'm never alone. I know I'm never alone.
So that was the first high note, and then she
That
does.
already was beautiful. I love
Yeah,
that
I
ending
know.
fade as well after
Yeah.
the high note. She still had power to just beautifully fade it lower.
Yeah. And the
Insane.
brilliance is that when she slowed it down, she has the time to do a little bit more with it. But let's listen till the end, and you will hear what we're talking about. I mean, yeah.
you,
Oh
you
my
got
God.
it. You got it.
Wow!
I mean,
No, I'm a bit in shock. Wait, okay. Because a lot happened. She went up first, like a beautiful high note, held it, changed it just slightly, pushed it more, and then just like exploded at the end to release it completely, and had the perfect space and amount of time with basically no breath, like barely any breathing, to just go back into normal chest voice and just sing it normally. How?
Yeah.
Wow.
And also the music just stops. And she's just alone and doing this like a primal cry almost. Like
that was beautiful. The timing, everything of the music. I don't know if they planned it. I'm guessing they did, or she probably decided beforehand. I want to just solo that little ending. I'm gonna pull it up a bit more so you can either stop or like see what works. And they calculated what they wanted. But that's beautiful. Also, what's beautiful with the song is they slowing it down gives even more of a jazz feel. I'm feeling even more of that whole atmosphere building around this song now. It's very interesting and very special because that song doesn't initially give you jazz vibes as much as any other song that she has, as Seventh Heaven or any of her more recent stuff. That one was the one that felt more melodical and more like a ballad for me. That's why it always brought me tears, but slowing it down just gives it a bit of a different like attitude as well.
Yeah.
I think that song, more than any other song that she has done, has provided more healing for more people around the world than anything else she's done. And whether that was intentional on her part or not, just the message, but what it conveys, even if you don't understand English and you just hear the music and how she's singing it, it conveys something in between the lines.
Yeah, and of course the timing was also perfect. It was right in the middle of COVID isolation. And a lot of people were suffering, and so they needed a little bit of a pause in all the suffering.
Yes, in all that craziness.
Yeah,
it was very much needed.
Yeah,
it's so wonderful to be an artist and to have the vision to help people and heal the world and to lift people up. That's really the highest form of art, to be able to not just have the vision, but then being able to put that into practice.
Yeah, it's something else. It's something an artist is able to do, and it's insane. It's that power that you think you have in your hand. And at the same time, it might reach 5 people, but those 5 people might have been impacted in such a great amount. Like, it's insane.
I have no doubt that Angelina Jordan has reached many more than 5 people.
Yes, I know. I'm very aware.
But I think with many artists, and especially with Angelina, the inspiration starts in her heart. It starts in her heart before it reaches her brain. But it's the integration, it's the blend between the heart and the brain, which is really where the true art happens.
Yes.
Very good also having something she wants to say, whether it is from her family, like her grandfather, anything, any memory like that, and then executing it into an art form, into a song, into lyrics, into a meaning. She's really talented in actually making a song lyrics. It's really incredible to always hear her new lyrics. I'm always waiting for something very interesting, and I'm always getting something even more interesting than what I expected.
Yeah, and it's also relevant for all of us. It's not something very specific. It's like a basic human expression in a way.
Yes.
I have no expectations of what Angelina Jordan will do next. I don't spend time or energy in that direction. But instead, when she produces something, I say, now I understand.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of me anticipating what she's going to do. It's for me to interpret something after the fact and then being able to track the direction of how she's evolving.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, me as well. I don't really, at this point, I've learned not to have expectations because I know they're just going to be blown out of proportion, either from the music video or from the lyrics or from the composition, everything. Just everything gets a whole new level every time. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sit back enjoy it, and then just figure out what goes on next.
But what I think is also a part of all this journey that we're all on with Angelina is the way that she's introduced to the mass. It should be very interesting to see once her album hits, or whenever it is that Republic Records will let go of the brakes and step it up a bit more. That would be so interesting to see.
It's called the fast forward button.
Yeah, the fast forward button. There are hints of what we can expect. For instance, Angelina appearing on the FIFA awards and singing a song with like the amount of people that saw that is quite staggering. But it should be so interesting to see whatever it is that they have planned for us.
Yeah, and I'm very excited.
Let me ask you, do you know many other people of your age who've listened to Angelina Jordan for the first time? How do they tend to react? What is their first impression when they hear Angelina?
I showed a couple of my friends, and their first reaction was basically beautiful voice, very talented indeed. But keep in mind, my friends are very rock. So their approach was like, very beautiful music, but it doesn't have that kick that they wanted. But the song is more jazz. It's more like, it wasn't as much their style, but they did really enjoy it nonetheless. So I'm guessing, unless our whole generation is just really into rock, which I am too, but I just like all genres of music. So I'm just like a weird exception. I'm guessing it's because older generations tend to like Angelina because they actually value that's taking it slower, the lyrics, the music, being a bit more. Also, jazz is something that even my generation likes, but it's more of in the background for them. They just need that kick because, especially us in our generation, love to have that energy boost. Whether you're working or you're doing something, you just need something to pump you up. So no matter what, they just need that, and it's easier to get that from a rock song that goes incredibly insane than a jazz song that just calms you down and brings out your feelings, especially when they need to keep a mask on or compose themselves for something.
But I would say Angelina Jordan has done some rock songs, maybe not like heavy metal rock, but she does songs. She's done a lot of different Queen songs.
Yes, I know.
The show must go on, yeah. The show must go on, yeah. Inside my heart is breaking, my makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on.
Yeah, no, but she also interpreted them a lot slower and a lot in her own style again. So it's just the tendency of the style. I'm feeling that what I did mention before, if she does go higher with high notes and plays along with those, maybe it will have that kick so that people start listening more and they're like, oh, cool, we have that cool high note here, blah, blah, there. I don't know, but I feel like they also just need to just slightly get out of the stage in their life that they are now, where they need to have this boost and they need to have this composure and always being collected and never breaking into extreme amount of feelings or extreme amount of letting go. When they do that and they're more like open with stuff, I feel like it will be a lot easier to just like let go, relax, and enjoy even more calm song in that way that they enjoy, let's say, a boost song. Because everyone's running in our age to do something really fast, so they just need that adrenaline for some reason. They're just all speeding for something. When they get older, they're going to realize, I need to stop. Because my life's just going to flash before me. I wouldn't have enjoyed any of it.
Let's continue this conversation in 20 years' time when we can see the impact that she's had on your generation once they've slowed down in 20 years' time.
Oh, that's gonna be really fun. I'm actually excited to see how that happens. I'm gonna keep looking out for that. That's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah. Because it's almost like when you're a grandparent and you have a grandchild and then you watch them grow and you've had enough life experience to realize the whole panorama of what life is about. And that's almost how our generation look at Angelina Jordan. We've been through the majority of our life, and now it's like watching a flower open.
Yes.
And even though she's in California, we see all the colors of the flower, and we have a sense of the perfume, and we have a sense of the beauty.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, the comment section, the angels transferred all that to me, all that information. And because my generation's just missing that, not everyone in my generation's a reactor to music. So
No.
it's a bit difficult to get that transferred to everyone. But yeah, as soon as you start experiencing like and seeing someone bloom as an artist, it's just really special, especially from a super young age, like Angelina, like from so young.
Yeah. Yeah. We had one guest who said that he had the feeling she wanted his friends and everybody around him to discover Angelina in the way that he had discovered her. And then he wanted them to feel the same as he felt. And he said something like, it's almost like if I had a little boy with me and he's going around presenting this boy. Here's this young boy will be a really great singer. His name is Elvis Presley. It was the same feeling, he said, like when he's introducing Angelina. This is somebody who's going to be world famous, and you need to start listening to this person because it's going to change your life, really. And I don't know if that's the right way to do it, or we just have to wait and see what happens.
I don't know either, but I love that description. That sounds so accurate and so true, and I love that little description. It's like a little Elvis Presley. Love that line.
It's so human nature. I feel like this, and I feel like this very strongly. How can you not feel the same as I?
Mm.
How is it that you feel different? That's so human nature.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Benicia, it's been wonderful having you. Brought us a breath of fresh light, and you've doubled our knowledge about animation, and we have a new vision of Angelina Jordan climbing up the ladder. You've been great.
I'm so glad. I've had a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Venice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
Yeah.